The following program is an LTX Enterprises production. The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. The Searcher and Hide podcast, for mind-intriguing discussions about wrestling, movies, Bigfoot, aliens, and everything in between, then look no further than the Searcher and Hide podcast. You can find the Searcher and Hide podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other platforms. Go check them out today. And Outside the Ring STL, join Shaft and General Vader along with others who share their love for professional wrestling as they talk about the recent shows from the major wrestling companies, all independent promotions from around the St. Louis area, and even talk about great moments in St. Louis professional wrestling history. Find them on Facebook at Outside the Ring STL. Get ready for episode number 36 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, featuring longtime wrestling ring general and multi-time Hall of Famer, the Old School Warrior, Keith Smith. This podcast is scheduled for one episode where falls count everywhere. We thank all of you joining us for tonight's episode of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Before we get underway, we pay honor, tribute, and respect to the greatest nation in the world as we play our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er that ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets right glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the
Hey guys, what's going on? It is your Thursday night ritual here with episode number 36 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. We got a little bit of a special treat and a different view for you this week. We are coming at you live all the way around. As this bald-headed idiot here is trying to make fun of me here. But hey, we're glad that you're here. I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby. To my right, your left. Man who's got a shinier chrome than me this week is Mr. GQ Matthew Wayne Schuyler III.
Fuzzy this week.
Bluetooth mode.
And I'm turning on my speakers.
It might work if I actually turn the mic on. No, it's fuzzy this week, so. This is twice I had to fly in for this. You know, so you better pay for my airfare or something now.
Did you like the Uber I gave you? It was only like a 5-minute drive from the airport. Did you like it?
That was okay.
That was okay? Yeah, because you
LTX mode.
there you go. Forgive me, guys. We don't usually do the in-studio much. As you know, we got our feet wet last week. But hey, to my right, or to my left, your guys is right. Our featured guest this evening is none other than Keith Smith, the old school warrior himself.
This is your right. This is your left. You learned that in kindergarten.
I've been up since 6 o'clock. I don't want to hear it. I've been going balls to the wall. I don't know. But we're glad to have you here, man. I appreciate you being here.
Hey, I told you this was going to be one of the only ways you were ever going to get me on this podcast was to do it live.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those guys that, you know, pull punches and like to talk over a phone. So
There you go. Got some applause there for you here. And oh wow. So hey, we got a few in the chat room. So we thank you guys for listening in. Hey, I'm going to get the listener line's not exactly quite ready yet, but we're gonna get there on that. But when it does,
It's because he's doing it. That's why it's all messed up.
and like GQ can do any better. Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Oh my gosh. Everybody, we'll give out the number when we're ready here for you. But
don't call my phone.
if you
Well, you could, but it's not going to help.
I mean,
I'll look at it ring and go, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. But that's okay. I'm used to it.
I almost was going to make an appearance over on the outside of the ring before I got here, but it was like kindergarten class over there. I decided not to.
they weren't raising hands and being quiet when they were supposed to.
Oh, they were playing in the backyard.
Oh,
Wow.
Ching. Goodness.
I think it was probably the Uber driver wouldn't stop.
Told you to tuck and roll. I would have done the same thing. I would have done the exact same thing. Shaft is in here. I know the Butcher's in here. Aaron Wallace is in
I
here.
don't see the butcher.
I
I don't see.
don't see the Butcher.
That's
Yeah,
probably a good
you were
thing.
hoping.
Apparently.
Like hell you did, Aaron Wallace. You ain't never had this. You ain't never going to.
You don't need to talk. Oh, that's a pretty harsh there, dude.
Moving on.
Moving on. So we're gonna get some things out of the way here quick here first. Wanted to go over this past weekend, and also coming up here before we get to our guests. Watch your We didn't say nothing
Shut
bad
your
yet.
mouth.
We didn't say nothing bad yet, Shaft. It's all right.
I know he was talking because he seems to like those little punk kids and everything. But okay, that's whatever. He's senile. He's old and senile. He's entitled to, like, you know, instead of yelling at kids off the front porch, he'll cheer on them in the backyard.
Oh Lord, here we go. Along with the backyard again. I'm not gonna. I walked into that one.
Don't.
I certainly
did.
did.
Calling in because they have to get the parents' permission to use the phone. It's Power Rangers time. They had to watch that before bed.
Yeah.
We might have to throw you out in the backyard. I'm tired.
And that's where I'm done. That's where I'm done.
You know, you want to pay me to chop Ruby, but you know, you take one first, and then Ruby will take one, and you can.
Good night, everybody.
That was a quick exit.
Right. So,
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
we are far away from Kansas. Oh my gosh, we're already battling in the chat room too, apparently.
I think Playboy Double H was talking to you here, Keith. Can you see the question right there?
That's not a question. That is a statement, and that is not nice for our guest.
I'm just saying, it's not me saying this. It's Playboy Double H.
The bad problem is, I think that was probably meant for you. He didn't mention no names.
I'm just saying.
It was a
I don't know.
statement,
He
and
wasn't
you
talking to
guys are the
me.
ones that normally run this show.
Oh. Speaking of the show being ran, let's move on here, shall we? Because this past weekend, there was Pro Wrestling Epic in Alton. We actually there was pretty good turnouts for the crowds, guys. Actually, packed house outside with Alton, and with WPW with where I was, and we'll get to that here in the goes towards. Okay.
My bad. I forgot who was in the chat. So
Yeah, he done messed up a long time ago. Do we have it? Yes.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Long time ago, Aaron. But I was successful with my title defense. I'm still U.S. champion, and I kind of beat your boy a little bit there, Keith. But
It's business.
it's business. But I know it's nothing personal.
you beat him bad, is what you did.
Well, to be honest, I put in the exclamation point, but there was some work done to him on. Apparently, my other manager had wanted to earn a little bit extra, of his cut. So he kind of gave an advantage and used something from the paparazzi menu and got a chain.
And then when you had to wash your hands later, you used his hat. Wash it on the towel.
I'm not going there. But I think the only new champion was Curtis Payne, is now the new WPW heavyweight champion, defeating Reed Rain. And the winner of the 7th annual William J. Talley Memorial Battle Royal is not me. So moving on. No, no, it was Xavier Frost.
Go figure.
So he faces Curtis Payne June 6th at Collinsville for the title next month. So I guess good luck to Xavier Frost and see what happens.
Yeah, but he also has his hands full because you saw when the lights went out, who challenged Frost by staring him down in the ring. None other than Damian Blade, the Butcher.
Yeah, well, there's everybody's throwing their hat at people and not necessarily at titles. And I guess it's more about power than it is with titles in some places. But it's going to be interesting come June 6th back at the VFW in Collinsville. So we'll see. But we're going to talk about did you want to talk about the card coming up?
Because I am in charge. I'm the general manager for them.
Yeah, thank you. Please.
We do have IEW Unrestricted this Saturday at Granite City. Check out the IEW Facebook page for more information. But we do have some matches to announce for the IEW Midwest Championship. We have Pretty Boy Floyd versus Big Money versus Douglas O'Shea.
Big Money?
Yeah, Big Money.
Okay.
Something you don't know nothing about.
No, I don't know.
I got $5 in my pocket.
More than he has in his pocket.
It goes around pretty well in some places.
Then we have for the IEW Tag Team Championship, we have the Midwest Mercenaries versus Chaos and Riot versus Sabotage Squad. Because that was something that Shaft signed. It wasn't anything I had anything to do with.
May I say I give Sabotage Squad props that they don't look like two guys that are coming in to clean my air ducts anymore. They've actually gotten better gear. So bravo to the Sabotage Squad for getting better gear. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And another one I really didn't want to do, but Shaft signed this under my nose. We have Tyler Bodine versus PT Beckham for number 1 contender against the IEW Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
Champion.
Who is the champion anyway? I mean, you guys
It'll be decided later. They get the number 1 contender, but they're also not in the tournament. Maybe you never know.
Oh, that's right.
We know what we're doing. At the beginning, Shaft signed that, so it's messed up. So.
Oh, I mean, it's easy to mess.
Then you have Playboy Double H versus now the Monster Scar.
Yeah. Hey, Playboy, you're gonna have your hands full with Scar. mean guy, but he'll.
That was
think,
actually one I was actually able to stop that match and give him a better opponent than who he had. He had Damian Blackwell.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I got rid of that one.
Oh okay. All right.
And then of course one that I had no call in right booking or anything, and is Tommy Davis versus L Ride.
Is that
do?
Oh, is that
One
Derek?
half of Dragon's Creed.
Oh okay. I was like, that's Derek didn't have
Part
a son,
of the
did he?
Unbroken, which will be broken when everybody gets a hold of them.
Okay. All right. So
Moving on.
that's one show happening with IEW. But let's turn our attention now to Keith Smith.
Whoa, wait a minute. No, also this weekend you got MMWA returns to South Broadway Athletic Club.
Yeah, Ruby, you're on that show. You might want to talk about that.
I know I'm booked on that show. I'm part of the roster. I know that. That's why. But this is the guy who really helps run the ship there now.
Oh, you're
There's only one commander of that ship, and it's Anthony Costa.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get it right.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to tell everybody out there, it's Anthony Costa. Maybe I'm his right-hand man, whatever you want to call it. I just help him through the tough times, but he's doing great. But the MMWA returns. Ruby will be on that card. Ricky Cruz.
Purple Passion.
Purple Passion. Don't worry. Why are you such a... You're okay. Don't hurt yourself.
Okay, so I know it's just I have a real bad time with men trying to touch my ass while I'm trying to kick theirs. So it's in a match. It's disturbing. It really is disturbing, Keith. Come on.
Well, we're gonna get the South Broadway Athletic Club and them Soulard folks.
Yeah, I heard you're not wrestling Purple Passion. You got good news on that.
Yeah, you got good.
It's Flaming Freddie
great.
Fury.
Yeah, it's Flaming Freddie Fury against Purple Passion.
Oh my gosh.
You know what kind of match it's going to be, but anyway, go on.
Bring out your Skittles and Lucky Charms for this one, folks.
You got Keith Smith Jr. will be on the card. Damian Cortez, the Butcher, of course, along with Cayman, Ricky Cruz, Demon G, and Gary Jackson's going to be there. Moondog, Texan. The list goes on and on. But we also have a Battle Royal, which is going to be a very first. So why don't you share a little information there, Dave?
Well, about the Battle Royal, I've actually had questions about that Battle Royal because is this just like an annual event? Is this something that's going to happen every month at an MMWA down to South Broadway? Or, is this like a one-time trophy or?
This is going to be a yearly thing. It's going to.
Okay, so it's an annual.
It's an annual yearly thing that will be ran. It's the Tony Costa Battle Royal. So.
Okay. So, and of course, the winner is going to be. They're going to be getting a nice trophy.
Oh yeah, it's a real nice trophy, and they'll see more pictures in the upcoming near future on our Facebook page.
Okay.
The people that were in attendance last month actually had a chance to see the trophy.
Nice. Now, here's one question, and I don't know if you may know this or not, but we're 2 days away from the event. How are tickets right now? Are they officially sold out? Or is there some availability left?
There is no availability. Actually, it is completely sold out. I think they were sold out in about 6 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because I know they had the event for the tickets coming up from it. They had that back like a few weeks ago, and they only had maybe 30, if that, left.
Right.
And then word trickled down that how much they had left, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I want 6, or I want 4, or I want 2," and then it's like it becomes a auctioneer.
Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should auction these tickets off because they're becoming hot items, especially for the South Broadway Athletic Club and the MMWA. We might make a few extra bucks, Dave. Maybe we ought to buy them up and sell them.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I would say.
I'm only kidding, guys.
Yeah,
it's a first come, first serve. Unfortunately, we can't put all these people like we used to in South Broadway. many a nights there was close to 600 people in there that paid attendance. So,
is there any thought of things relaxing on the restrictions on that? Has there been any talk about that whatsoever?
as of right now, what I've been hearing through Anthony Costa is that nothing has really changed. We're still going to social distance. We're still going to wear our mask when we get up and go from the ring, go from our seats to concession, bathroom, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely wish. I know some things around the county have changed as far as dining, but I mean, with sporting events and everything else, I guess that's a different story. But we hope in months to come that it does relax a little bit more. Therefore, obviously, there'll be more tickets available. But let me tell you guys, if you don't get down there and see a show here, and I'm just not plugging because I'm on the card. I was there last week or last month. It was sold out, and the fans there were so into it and so loud. You could have sworn that the house was packed and everybody, at this, making all that noise.
Right, exactly. I was hearing the same thing you were. Unfortunately, my job consists of not being able to watch as many of the matches as I want to watch, and see where where the future of the MMWA is.
Yeah. So Ricky Cruz actually had a question here for you. Did I miss anything important?
Yes, Purple Passion is taking on Flaming Freddie Fury.
Oh my gosh. No, that is not important. That is I don't know. I can't put I'm not gonna put a label on that match. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. But besides that, is there any other matches that have been announced besides the whole
main one,
pink versus purple? Yes,
the heavyweight title match that has been determined right now will be Texan versus Moondog.
Wow. So the vacated title, so we will have a champion by the end of the night.
By the end of the night, we will have a new champion.
So it's a stipulation of this because there must be a winner.
Oh, there's going to be a winner.
Okay.
I'll guarantee that.
Okay. All right. Because we don't want, somebody might want to put not me per se, but somebody else might have an interest toward that title and might want to get involved in it. And of course, they get involved, the match could get thrown out. We don't want nothing of that sort. We need to move on with that.
Well, there's not going to be any interference, I guarantee you, because the guys are going to be too concerned with where their place is in the MMWA that night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me.
This match is going to get messy. Even messier than the Purple Passion match.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
But no, it's honestly, when you got Moondog and you got Big Texan, because I've worked with Texan other places, and they can tear it up and tear each other up at the same time.
Here's the deal. The strongest will survive.
Yeah.
They
will. And
we see that, Cruz. You need to hide. You need to watch out there. Take it back.
Did he just say you never got a pinata for it?
No, I said he's Puerto Rican, not Mexican. Damn it! Are you that big of? Go ahead, play some of them sound clips that you got over there that will tell us how you really are.
Yeah, like one of the butthead ones.
Yeah, there you go. A butthead.
Shut up!
Yeah.
I told him for you, Ricky. Hey, everything's starting off fresh and new after the COVID incident. Shut I would say a lot, if not every independent company down. And it's a new era. It's a time for everybody to start a new pecking order.
Yeah. Trust me, I know where my place is in MMWA. At least I know it's on the roster, and I know that I'm very appreciative of that. Trust me when I say that. So I know that a lot of these guys have got ears on me, and I understand that. So
now Damian Blade is in the room.
someone's talking smack already.
And look at the bright side with everything, all the hard hitting that South Broadway is doing and all that. You guys prove that you got a better cut of meats.
Wow. Yeah, especially when you got Damian Blade on the show.
Mm-hmm. The butcher brings a better meats than any of the other potatoes around in the area.
We got all the pork butt.
And
at least we don't have Canadian bacon on this show.
And that's a bang bang.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. My dinner was fine this evening, if you were kind of wondering about that, but but nobody beats butcher's meat but him. So
Wow.
we can say that it's 8:30 for crying out loud. Oh yeah, baby. Someone got it. There you go.
Even Cruz joined in on this one. So come on, what else we got going on? I mean, just don't sit here.
No, man.
No wonder it takes this show a flipping 2 hours to get anything done.
Oh man, well, we just
grant you, we're having fun, we're joking, we're laughing. Hopefully,
here's some more shoots here for a second.
No.
Take a look on the screen.
Hey guys, in case you don't know, I'm sitting the farthest away from the screen.
Okay, I'll go and.
It says that smart ass prick missed making some money. I don't know which prick he's talking about. It might be Canada.
I think you need to be a little bit more precise on who you're talking about there, Mr. Blade.
Say what you really mean. See, you had to go full screen on this one, didn't you?
Yeah, I sure did. That's all right. But yeah, so we brought him here with Keith and
Not just him.
Out of all the meats, trust me, there will be no chops tonight.
Yeah.
Pork chops.
Yeah. So let's get into talking with.
Hold on.
Oh.
Wait for it.
Scared?
You argue with his spelling, you see what it's going to get you.
I don't know if it meant like a kebab or
not scared. Scared.
Is he talking?
No.
We're having a bad play on words here tonight. I'm so sorry.
Blade is trying to pronounce it how Canadians would read it.
Oh my.
Better put it upside down then.
Oh my god.
Pick your mic back up.
So do we want to get on the questions with our guests?
Yeah, I definitely do. So
because more stuff's going to pop up. Like, hold on. Here we go.
That's 25. Oh no.
Hey, gotta remember, I have no contract with nobody, and I don't have to worry about 25. 25, just a number to me. And $25 ain't enough either.
Earn your 25 into 25. But Keith,
talk about speeding now. Let's move on.
I'm moving. So what year did you start training in the business?
Would have been about mid 82.
82. Holy wow. Okay.
Where the hell were you guys at? See,
trying not to cause trouble in grade school. That's where I was.
I was watching He-Man.
Right.
He-Man, Thundercats.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I know it was before your time. You watched How Do You Do?
Way before my time. Yeah, I probably did. Matter of fact, I know I did.
Actually, your childhood was listening to the radio shows.
Yeehaw, or Hee-Haw, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, Hee-Haw, man. Laughing. All that stuff. Yeah,
Romper Room.
Grand Ole Opry in black and white. Yeah, okay, thanks, guys. Assholes.
Oh. Hey, you put the words in, man. You put the words in. But so your father Ed was a wrestler. So you were obviously watching him as you were growing up. So, was he your biggest influence on you in your pursuit of your professional wrestling career?
Actually, I was probably a better baseball player and football player.
Okay.
Growing up, and that was the passion, was to go that route and not wrestling. It wasn't until I messed up a couple of shoulders and elbows and whatnot, the baseball career went down the tube, and I got into professional wrestling.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, who were you trained by, and how long did you train before you got your first official match?
Well, that's kind of a trick question right there. You know, you kind of have a two-parter that, you know, spans a little bit of distance. But when I started training, there was a lot of guys, even Little Dynamite, Tony Costa, Joe Zakib, the Giant Assassin, who is actually going into the Midwest Wrestling Hall of Fame, Midwest Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame. Plus, there was many others. I mean, my dad was there, Johnny Ramirez.
I'm sorry.
You know, I'm looking at the screen, and Blade just can't shut his pie hole.
I am so sorry.
But that's okay. I mean, that's what this is about. Anyway, and now my son-in-law has joined in him clowning as well, I see. So I trained with all those guys, and then I started wrestling. Later on down the line, I was actually still working as a second down at Kiel Auditorium with the NWA. And Pat O'Connor was training a Japanese wrestler at South Broadway. His name was Wajima, who wanted to make the transition from sumo to professional wrestling. I hated the early mornings and the 8 hours a day training schedule, but it worked out great for me. I had even more respect for the man than I did before that time. But getting in the ring I think he was about 65 years old. And he sent myself, Wajima, I guess is how you pronounce it, and Ron Powers through the ringer. Now Ron trained for a while and then left, and I stayed with it because my dad worked out of the Kansas City area as a wrestler for the NWA with Bob Geigel and all those guys, and I guess I was put in the right spot. Let's go that route. What else you want to know? You guys both got shit eating grammar.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, it was just something. Somebody was talking about one of your tag teams you had back in the day.
Your team was Sky Lobo.
I can't see them messages because y'all got them on your side of the screen. But of course,
I'll maximize it for you here.
No, don't maximize.
Your team was Sky Lobo and the Submitting Twin Towers.
Wow,
that's horrible. Oh my gosh!
Remember, Blade, I'm the hog with the big nuts, not you.
Oh, wow!
Still trademarked by Dump Truck, though.
No, it is not. Cha-ching! You only think it is, and I worked with Perry many and many nights.
Oh my gosh! There's a name, Dump Truck. Dave Perry. Gosh, he was one of the guys I like seeing when I was watching indie stuff when I was still in school. Man, that's how long ago he was.
So did you ever get a chance to do any training with or work with Johnny Ramirez?
No, I did not. No, I did not. Yeah, I know.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
I know.
And that was actually last year's one of the inductees in last year's Hall of Fame for the Midwest Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame.
It was. You are correct. And, you know, that was one of the names I brought up. I mean, he wrestled for many of the indie promotions around here. Plus, he did work at Kiel Auditorium as well. Now, his uncle was also a wrestler, Carlos Bay Rodriguez. So, a lot of people don't know that either. But he wrestled in the early 50s.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I got in, I stayed with one promotion, and got spot training here and there, and I never got a chance to get down to Broadway actually or trained at all. But yeah, my story goes in the Frank Reed direction, in that area, getting discovered there. So yeah, but I guess
I mean, you were really good when you started out, though, too, Ruby. I mean, because I know Keith really loved this picture.
Oh, I loved one earlier. I took a screenshot of that. I had to send it all over. I didn't post it on my page yet, though.
I'm playing it dangerously. I just realized that now. I'm not at my own place.
You're in
New York.
striking distance, mind you.
So think about that picture, guys. I mean, you guys just seen it up there. So I'm gonna say one thing. You know, he may have changed what he looks like today, but he's probably still the same guy on the inside as he was back then. So
there is one actual question you actually have.
Yeah.
Who has been the best promotion you got to work with? That's from your son-in-law.
Beginning to the end.
You know, that's hard. Ricky, I work for a lot of promotions, and we've had this discussion on many occasions. I would have to say it was GCW. And I've never downplayed any promotion that I've ever worked with. I mean, because that's just ridiculous. Or any other promotion that's around here in this Midwest area. You know, whether you talk about them being backyard guys or whatever, you know, you guys can joke and clown and do everything you want, but those kids are trying to make their name just as well as everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, GCW had a really good run, and I don't know if they came. Well, I know Midwest Renegade. Well, you know, MRW was before that.
It started. They left Frank and started MRW.
Right.
And then that split into two groups, ICW and GCW, and ICW didn't last.
Correct.
Yeah, because I never knew of ICW. If I did, I mean, it's a faint memory for me because I was getting too many headshots.
It was probably one of those things in passing.
Yeah.
There's another question. I don't know if I should post it.
Come on. Damian Blade.
He scares me. I'm not going to take him off.
Really?
He has a question. I'm going to show it.
So I'm thinking that's a question for Keith. I'm not answering
I'm
that.
one of these guys that like meat and potatoes.
What kind of meat? What kind of potatoes?
Hey, as long as it's meat and potatoes, I'll take it. And I'm happily married. So
hold on, somebody actually had a comment for this one. I'm just going to put that there and what?
He lights. Oh my goodness! Well, now
Butcher, I hope that answers your question.
I love the Instagram filter or the
Yeah. So do I. Which one? Me or her?
I was like, you guys, she threw that effect in, but I know you both were in the shot. But I'm just saying.
She was trying to be nice about it.
She was. Oh shoot! So your first match. What do you remember most about your first match, and when was it?
It was an 8-man tag. You're gonna ask me for a year and a date, and I don't.
Oh no, I'm not.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna ask the people in the match though.
Well, I can tell you on my side of the ring, it was myself, my father, Ed Smith, Johnny Ramirez, and Sam Mayberry against Bull Brannigan, Eric Von Ryan, Moose Miller. God, the fourth name on that side actually slips my mind.
Bull Brannigan and Moose Miller, those are names that come back.
Definitely
Joggling. Yeah, I remember Bull Brannigan too. So man,
you guys were kids.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Moose Miller was a former cop.
Yeah.
Knew him very well. He worked a lot of secondary work when he was a police officer at Kiel.
Oh, wow.
That ain't how I met him, but my father knew him for a long time.
Yeah. I know he did some work with Frank in the Central States era in 98. So that's how I know.
He was still with him after that because I remember him around that time, or like around early 2000, 2002 era.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he might have been there too.
So what other questions we got going on? Or are they just bickering back and forth like a bunch of little whiny girls?
Well, there is one. If you wanted a question.
Wow, how do you feel? I'm going to destroy your son.
Wow. All I can say is good luck.
Yeah, I mean,
you're going to need a lot of help.
Oh, okay. He adds on
to
it.
I'm going to hurt you too. Okay. Now, what is this? What is this about Blade?
I don't know.
He asked about him about boobs to begin with,
and he stirs the pot like no other. And he thinks that, I'm not scared of no man. I didn't back down from the giant assassin. I'm not going to back down from a Damian Blade. Eric Von Ryan, Bo Brannigan, none of those guys. Even as a kid, I didn't back down from them. I'm not backing down from this clown either.
No, you back
down. Just wait till we open the phone lines.
That's fine. If you don't end up with using up all these questions, we're going to be on here 6.5 hours. Just because you can't ask them and your head's buried in your glasses like this. See, guys? Yeah.
I know. Well, it's a rare night that the chat room is killing us tonight with what they're putting in there. And now that it's not a bad thing, guys, but all nobody's. I'm the man. Okay.
You might be the man today, but tomorrow you'll be wearing a skirt. Ask your wife.
Oh, wow. That's old school talking at you.
Is our phone lines open?
Oh, yeah, I think they are.
Just keep rolling with your questions, because if not, it'll be midnight before we get out of here.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
it's already past Keith's bedtime.
Yeah, I know. So with I know you've come across some notable names in professional wrestling that you worked with that are very well known throughout your career. Who were some of the favorite ones to work with?
Snuka.
Yeah, I remember seeing you in a match with Snuka in GCW. I remember that.
Several shows. A lot of the guys always complain that, they didn't want to take that big splash off the top rope. That's one of their biggest things that they were always scared of. You know what?
Uh-oh.
Do we have to answer this?
I think we do. I think we might have to.
Sorry, guys. We've been interrupted.
You've got the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Who's this? Hold on, caller.
It helps if he actually puts the speaker on.
AUX mode.
Hold on. Right. Let's try this again now.
All right. Who's on the line? Oh, I guess they hung up.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. But I see the live call line open.
Yep.
But Snuka was a blast to work with. Those were some of my fond memories. Because as a kid, I watched them.
I have an idea who this might be. But... All right, take two. You got the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Who's this?
Who do you think it is? It is the greatest independent wrestler in the St. Louis area. I'm the man that Keith Smith is going to hand that trophy to on Saturday night.
Oh, okay. So it's the man who's asked about boobs and then told him he's going to kill his son. So it's Damian Blade. Okay.
Listen, I only ask him because I am an ass man.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay. So,
one's laughing about crying, the other one's beating himself with the microphone in the head, and now you got you calling in being a clown.
Listen, you can call me a clown all you want, but when you hand me that trophy on Saturday night and I hold it above my head, in my other hand, I will have Bernice, and Bernice is going to meet your skull, Keith Smith.
Well, I can tell you what, if I'm the one handing you that trophy, excuse me, Anthony Costa, I'm going to shove that thing so far up your rear end, you ain't going to know what to do with it.
Oh, really? You will do anything to keep me from representing MMWA. Do you know that I am the greatest wrestler in the St. Louis area, and I should be the representation of your company? You know, there's this fool who calls himself the ambassador. Well, I am a true ambassador. I will be the ambassador of MMWA.
Well,
Hopefully you don't follow in the footsteps of that gentleman that you're talking about,
and
because that would sure be a disappointment.
and remember, Blade, you can't be an ambassador without being an ass in it.
Or kissing ass.
Well, that is true. I am an ass man.
Oh my gosh. You should be Damian Blade, you should be cordial, my friend, if you're gonna get that trophy. So blood spill is not really the name of the game when the match is over. I mean, even though someone else may go that route, but that's not you.
Well, listen, Keith Smith, you and Mr. Anthony, how sad are you going to be when I'm holding that trophy and I'm representing that trophy? How sad will you be, Keith Smith? Why don't you tell the whole St. Louis area?
Listen, I don't care if it's you, Damian Blade, Ricky Cruz, or anybody. I'm just going to be happy that somebody will win this trophy for the very first time. It isn't, this is not a like or dislike situation in this case. You know, I want to see the guys that you're going to have to face in this battle royal. You're going to have to beat every one of them in order to be the last man standing.
That's not a problem for me. This last Saturday, I threw 15 mortals over the top rope. This Saturday, whoever you line up in my way, I will throw them over the top rope, and I will hold that trophy high as I smile at you, Keith Smith, because you know what's next? Your son. You better hug him tight, because when I'm done with him, there won't be anything left.
So what you're telling me is you couldn't eliminate Xavier Frost because he had too much pig grease on him. Is that what you're telling me?
Listen,
yeah. So
I'm telling you,
dropped the ball. You dropped the ball.
I'm telling you,
just like
I'm telling you, there was
this weekend.
No, I'm telling you, there was a book in my way.
Wow. You know, I'm sorry I missed that show, but I just figured, you know, I heard who the guy was that won the battle royal, and it sure wasn't you.
Yes. Have you ever faced a book? It is something you cannot beat one-on-one.
Really? I beat up a tree.
Yeah.
I beat up a ficus tree.
Well, maybe my book was a little thicker than your book.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, Blade. We do have one question that was actually for you. And it is this: Damian Blade, do you eat filet mignon?
Do I filet? Who asked such an asinine question?
A wonderful lady named Michelle. We're just going to leave it at that.
Oh, Miss Michelle, you think you're so funny. Why don't you saunter about into your basement and make some colorful little things to sell this Saturday? Because Keith Smith Jr. is going to need all the money he can get for all the hospital bills that he's going to have to pay when he faces me.
Wow. So much smack.
Hey, Blade, I got one question for you. You know you're in a tag match Saturday night as well, correct?
Oh, I do. I do. I've been waiting to get my hands on Ricky Cruz. No promoter in this area has had the guts to put us in the ring together. This Saturday night, I end the King of Chaos.
Well, we'll see about that. You're going to try. It's kind of like destroying Keith Smith Jr.
The legacy ends Saturday. It starts with your son-in-law, and it ends with Junior.
Coming after the family.
Coming after the family, 3-on-1. That's pretty tough words there, buddy. And it never fails. You always call when I'm on a damn podcast. Why don't you ever want to meet me one-on-one? I waited in the parking lot for you the last time.
Listen, I pulled up in the parking lot and saw you on your hover round, and I felt sorry for you.
My hover round. I don't think I would have had enough battery charge to get there, pal. And you were on your roller skates.
But listen, old school warrior, or as I like to say, old has been. Listen, if you step in my way today, I will annihilate you just like I'm going to do your son-in-law and that Demon G. I'm going to take them out. And then later in that night, I'm going to hold that trophy above my head and I'm going to smile in your face. And I will walk out of the MMWA as the ambassador.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
I'm just floored you'd go there with that.
yeah, me too. I mean,
Can we hang up on him, or did you hang up on him or something?
I'm not hitting the button.
Give me the damn thing. I'll hit the button.
I'll hit the.
Listen, you don't have to hang up on me because I've got better things to do. I've got other books to destroy.
Go play with some swine.
All right, he's gone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, thank you.
Anyway, guys, go ahead. You want to finish some more of your questions? Or you
There
got-
was a question that was actually for you as well.
Okay.
And put that right there.
Oh, how do you feel about wrestling today compared with to when you got your start? So that's from Doc Lombardi watching.
You know, I think these are probably one of. How did he steal one of those questions that's on your sheet?
Oh, he just don't know.
Hey, Doc, that's a pretty good question. How do I feel about today's wrestling? It has definitely evolved. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I think one of the things are some of these wrestlers are a little careless and a little more dangerous.
Yeah.
And another question that I'm just.
Gosh.
Wow, you guys are setting me up. Who's the ambassador? I mean, come on. If you're going to call people out, you might as well do it. I mean,
No,
are
I
we
just want to know what your thoughts on ambassadors, like
ambassadors?
Canadian ambassadors and stuff. And,
You know, I think you ought to just put the whole thing out there, and we'll talk about it. But ambassadors in general, some of them are good, some of them are bad.
No, but I know that we were talking about, your how you feel about company. Oh, how you feel about companies working together?
I don't think. I think it's great for wrestlers to work for other companies, but a lot of companies cannot exist working together correctly, and that's going to be my bottom line, because here's the thing: there's no real mediator with 1, 2, or 3 companies all trying to work together.
Yeah, I mean, very well point well taken, because, other bookers or promoters will have different ideas. You will rarely ever find.
well, the problem is you have way too many cooks in the kitchen during all that.
You mean
And there's no happy medium. There's always going to be somebody that has their own agenda.
Yeah.
And if you're not pushing an agenda situation, then that's fine. They can coexist. As I said, coexist, not perfectly work together.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think there's not going to be there's never going to be a happy medium for that.
I don't know who this lovely lady is, but I like her. She's a good cook because she's stirring that pot a lot.
I know, but nobody wants to throw out any names. So, I would much rather. I mean, if you got somebody you want me to talk about, just mention a name.
Just remember that everybody be specific in the questions.
Because I already told these two guys right here. I was almost called them ass clowns, but they're actually not. They're actually two good guys. But I was trying to make it interesting on this podcast. Yeah, you the one go. Yeah. Make it interesting. If you beat around the bush, I'm going to give you a beat around the bush answer. You want the truth? I'll tell you the truth.
All right. Yeah. So
I'll ask the next question though. What would you say was your greatest feud or storyline that you've been involved with personally? I hated using the word storyline, but that was written on my sheet.
I mean, it's a story you got to tell.
The story
or a feud.
We're old school. Let's remember.
Yeah, I know.
It would have to be with John Blackheart. Went on for many, many years, back and forth. And it all started out after he got out of the military. He came out of the military. He was a boxer, trained to become a wrestler. And unfortunately, he threw a left jab that caught me off guard several times. He was a true lefty.
Who had the best chop, Blackheart or you?
I don't know. He's been hit by him a lot. That's all I can say.
So there were two of the same questions. I'm going to show them both real quick.
Okay.
There's one. And
she don't count.
There's another.
Well,
this one counts.
Well, I'm going to go to the one with Bill Talley. My thoughts on Sean Vincent is a little over a year ago, he lost all my respect. I straight told him that. And ever since then, he's called, invited me to dinner, invited me out to the farm, so on and so forth. Listen, thanks, Doc. Let me finish this about Sean Vincent. And I don't care if he's listening or not. I don't care if Herb Simmons hears this. Whenever you start playing this role that you're playing, you're going down a path that you're going to never, ever get away from. It's going to haunt you the rest of your life. I have been asked and been put in situations that he is being put in now by promoters, and I refuse to do that work. I'm not a political guy. And it's bad when you start talking about other companies, other wrestlers, and fans. Fans are the ones who pay their hard-earned money to come to an MMWA show, ACW show, SICW show. When you start talking about the fans, you've lost all the respect that you're ever going to get from me anymore, little man.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yep. Okay. So moving on. So, when you were underway, with your start of your career, I mean, you can be through your first few years, you could be, later than that. But what were some of the wrestling veterans that you looked up to and got advice from the most to help with your knowledge and respect from?
Who was the veteran? It would have had to have been Brody. I threw a chop. We were on a football field in DuPont, Illinois, and he was in the dressing room, we'll say 100 yards away. He said they sounded good. How'd they feel? I don't know. I wasn't on the return end of it. I was giving it. So needless to say, I mean, let's back up a little bit. Brody and my dad were also friends. And I've been put in a lot of situations with big-time professional wrestlers as I was trying to get into this business. I was trying to get in the night that, I was still kind of weaning my way in, doing a lot of training, and Wahoo McDaniel and Terry Funk had a match at Kiel Auditorium. Needless to say, Funk drugged me by my shirt in front of a Wahoo McDaniel chop. I think this was my dad saying, "Son, do you really want to be in this business?" Of course, my dad was a referee, so it just didn't set real well with me that McDaniel hit me with a chop, knocked me out cold. So Brody, let me get back to this Brody situation. So Brody says, well, they sounded good, but how were they? I guess they were pretty good. They sounded good, right? You could hear them from back here. Yeah. He looked at the wrestler when he came through the dressing room door. He goes, "That ain't how you throw a chop, son. I wore a chop for 4 days on my chest from Bruiser Brody." And that's one of the things that I remember the most.
And now one of your chops is feared by pretty much everybody still locally.
And maybe they should be. I mean, that's the old school end of this business. That's the mentality.
Yeah. I will say, though, that it took a couple days after my last match I had on last Saturday facing his son. So, I mean, he's getting there.
Apple doesn't fall far from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
What you're saying.
Yeah,
that too.
I'd rather take the chop from the apple right now, because if I get a chop from the tree, I'm going to be knocked down for a while.
and he knows what it's like because he's faced a tree.
Wow. Yeah, I did.
And so did George Washington.
And so did George Washington. It wasn't a cherry tree, though. Mine was only a ficus.
What was he, Keith's tag partner?
Wow. No, it wasn't. No. Anyway, come on, guys. You guys.
There was some other one. Oh, Lord, got a question.
Oh, here we
Got a
go.
call.
It's going to be from your favorite person.
So, Playboy, hold that thought just a second, and I'll answer that question.
All right, you got the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Who's on the line?
Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, what's going on, man?
Yep, this is Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. Yeah, so you got a question for Keith?
Yep.
Okay, so what's your question?
Is how did Keith Smith Jr. got into professional wrestling back in the day?
You mean his son?
Or you mean Keith Smith, because he's not junior.
I'm senior. Are you referring senior or junior? Aaron? Hello?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Hey, Aaron, you still there? Hello? Oh, my goodness. Hold on.
Hello?
Yeah, you still with us? Hello?
We can hear you periodically. Something's wrong with your phone. Try calling us back.
Yeah, try calling us back, Aaron.
Next week.
Give me that information from Playboy. What are your thoughts on making money as a wrestler? Well,
And this adds on to that question. Hold on.
Can they pay their bills from wrestling?
Okay, so we're going to go this route. You can pay bills. Are you going to pay them all? No. In the early 80s, mid 80s, maybe even early 90s, you could still pay the bills. You could pay every bill you had back then. Today, it's harder to do that. You can definitely not only work enough shows in a weekend or throughout the entire week or whatever, plus sell merchandise, and you're going to pay some of your bills. That's the best answer I can give you in today's business.
Now, let me add on to that a little bit. Would it be better if it was back to the territory system now than it was then?
The territory system was great. I mean, there was a lot of guys employed. Unlike today's independent circuit, these guys are making chump change, to be honest, in the means of payoffs from promoters. A lot of the venues are smaller. They don't hold as many people. Ticket prices aren't, all there. I mean, if you're selling 10,000 tickets someplace and you're getting, $25 a ticket, up to $25 a ticket back then was probably, great money for a worker in the early 80s. But nowadays, it just ain't happening.
No, it ain't. That's for certain.
Well, there's a lot of areas you can go. I'm not just meaning the St. Louis area, but just in general. There's so many areas you can go in, and there's so many. Yeah,
I know.
Go ahead.
I think I know what it is. All right. You got the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Who's on the line?
This is yours truly, Shaft.
Oh, it's our
Oh, you
commissioner.
can hang up with this one too.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Yeah. I got a direct question to Old School Warrior.
All right.
What's going on with the GCW tape?
All the GCW master copies are in my possession. That's exactly what I told you before on your Facebook channel. Your bet channel. How's that?
Yeah. So, is any of them is going to be put together and, sell some, show some of the footage of back in the day, Gateway Championship Wrestling?
They are going to be released. Some other clown has put out a GCW, whatever you want to call it, page, which he only has stuff that he's purchased or been given, and it's not the full collection.
Okay, so I'm glad you clarified that and everything, and I, appreciate, working hand in hand with you down there at MMWA and everything, and, getting everything situated, airing out everything. And yes, I'm quite sure there's going to be some comments, but, like I say, when you talk about the fans that's coming to see you, that's the wrong thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
And, you touched on that earlier, but I'm still have to chime in, just watch what you say, because they the one that's giving you the opportunity to get up there to entertain them. And like I say, without the fans, you won't have no merchandise sold, and you won't be having nobody boo you, because right now, I think that's going to be the number one thing. So whenever you get back up in the ring, just be prepared.
Hold that thought, Shaft. We know who we're talking about here. We're talking about Sean Vincent. Some other wrestlers have brought this up on this page already and on this podcast. And hey, there's one thing being a heel in the ring. That's one thing. But carrying it over to your true life attitude and trying to be an asshole about it, or do I really want to say that? Yeah, I guess I can.
Yeah, you can on our show. It's okay.
Okay. Or jack off, however you want to look at it. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
You have to learn to separate business from your outside life. And he cannot do that. He is making his ambassador, whatever he calls himself, of SICW look really, really bad. And if I see it, you can guarantee many fans see it as well.
I just wanted to chime in on that, and I look forward on seeing you two guys Saturday night in GQ. Just take Uber and just ride a long way, because I don't think you got no jet waiting on you. So you might well Uber back to where you come from.
You know what? I shut up, Shaft, and everything. At least I'm in charge of our show this Saturday while you have that show. So you worry about that, I worry about this, and we all have fun.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see you again.
Hey, thanks, Shaft.
Too much already.
All right, and I just want to thank you guys, because, like I say, the two hottest shows out there, Falls Count Everywhere and Outside the Ring, STL, we're doing a phenomenal job, and the only thing I can say is let's keep up the good work.
All right, my friend. Thanks, Shaft. I'll see you soon, my friend.
And yes, it's time for me to go to bed. So, Old School Warrior.
Past your bedtime.
Yes, Old School Warrior.
Yes, sir.
Nah.
All right, friend.
Thanks, Chef.
Thanks
Bye.
again.
All right.
All right.
So what I'll continue with here is, I think a lot of that will also is because you can go to so many different states and areas, and there's like 5-10 indie groups in a 3-hour radius trying to do shows, and it just pulls so many fans away, and they only have a limited income to come to shows as it is. Not trying to knock them by no means, but
Okay, so remember one thing. It doesn't matter what company you are and you're talking about this. All these companies run so close to each other. Each individual company has their own fan base, and whether it is a young group of guys or an older group of guys or an established group, like MMWA has been in that building for shit before me anyway. And we're
the only
talking
one
about
in that building too.
and the only one in that building. But there was a reason for that. Nobody else drew that kind of crowd. And it's obvious that the other company went in there and bombed. They just threw a big tank. How long are they going to last? Probably not very long, even though they probably got money, but that's not knocking any of the guys that work for them.
Really true.
It's just the fan base that follows that group. That's all it is.
Which adds to the next question that was being asked in the room. Quite a few people asked. I got to pick one, which is that one. What are your thoughts on the 25-mile radius rule?
Well, I was one of the ones that rebelled against all that years ago. The reason being was, and I'll tell you why. I paid for a Missouri license. Whether it was the license, the blood work, the physical, I paid for all that out of my pocket. You're not going to be able to be a guy that tells me how I can make money.
Hold on, we got a call.
All right, you got the False Count Everywhere podcast. Who's this?
Hey, my name is Chad Henry. I'm actually a friend of Keith and one of his other half of his Old School Warriors, Chad Weston. We'll just throw his real name out, Chester. How you doing tonight, Mr. Keith?
I'm doing good, Chad. How about you?
Brother, I'm great. And so I hear you talking about being down at the old Broadway Athletic Club and the old boxing club, and I got to experience quite a bit of that. And I want to tell you how much of it is a pleasure, not only that I got to watch you as a wrestler, but I got to become and your dad and your Ed Smith and Tony Costa and Keith Smith and people like Chester and all of the guys that came through there, man. That was the reason people showed up month in and month out, and those fans were passionate inside the South Broadway Athletic Club, and that's why they had such a good following. And they respected the industry, and you're part of that. You're part of that history and that legacy that came out of that building, and all these other dudes with these young dudes with attitudes. I watched it from the back, from the sidelines. And they have no respect for the industry and for the business. You guys put on a show, but you also cared about the fans after the fact.
Yeah, we did. And, think about this is that, I've been a part of a lot of locker rooms. And one of the worst things that happen in locker rooms with wrestlers are cancers. Those cancers spread like crazy in a locker room. They put a bad taste in a lot of workers' mouths. Next thing you know, the show goes to shit. If you can surround yourself with good workers, it's perfectly fine.
That's what happened at South Broadway, and everybody. I mean, when the lights went down, the friendships began. When the lights went up, the animosity and the fun began, and it wasn't, oh, you out wrestled me in the ring or whatever. Nobody held that against anybody else, and they had respect for the other people. And when the lights went out, they became friends again. But Keith, I want to remind you of something. You mentioned Dupo the other day. you and I think it was Chaz Wesson at the time, and you guys were in a tag team match there, and this crowd was brutal, and they had like hog fences all the way up around this ring, and this rather good-sized lady was yelling at both Keith and Chaz Weston, and she was throwing some pretty heated stuff out of them, and Chaz Weston hollers back at her and he says, "Well, at least I'm not fat." And she goes, "I'm pregnant, you idiot." And I've never seen Keith, like, great character in the ring. He was crying, laughing at what this lady said back to Chaz.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, thanks.
I
I do have a sense of humor, believe it or not. And sometimes it's kind of sick, but you know, that gal put Chester in the place. That's all I can say.
So absolutely, it was fantastic for me. I still tease him to this day. I will say thank you for the years of your friendship, Keith, and to be able to watch you wrestle. I was there the day that we put your dad in the ground, and I was happy to be there as your friend and as your brother, and I'll still be there for many other things, man. Much respect to you. Glad you're in the Hall of Fame, and I hope to get to actually take your hand sometime soon.
Well, we appreciate you calling. It's great. You bring up little things like this, and it means a lot, and it goes a long way for this podcast. I mean, they're only on episode 36.
36, right? Yeah.
So, it means a lot, and it brings back a lot of history, a lot of knowledge, and it helps these young guys right here alongside of me.
And don't forget, you will be in the Hall of Fame as well, too, one day.
Love you, brother. Give a hug to Michelle when you get home. Appreciate you guys.
I will.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, brother. Bye.
All right. Good call, man.
And sorry for the mic issues. We were working on it. Apparently, the sandstorm on that phone call and everything was kind of killing the mics.
He's in Florida. I'll let you guys know that now.
Well, it was a hurricane. That's what it was.
It's a hurricane. He might have been at the beach.
Okay, that's just showing off now.
Yeah, that really is. That's really showing off.
It's a little cool here today, and
So, what I would want to know is with today's wrestlers compared to the old school, going back a couple days, what do you feel is missing most with today's with the wrestlers' performance? Like, what aspect of their would be the way they approach psychology wise, move set, whatever, and what change would you do to kind of correct what they were doing?
so it all depends on what level we're talking about. If we're talking about where we're at today, on an independent scene, I think most of them have trouble. They can't chain wrestle. Most of them can't chain wrestle. Most of them can't tell a story while they're chain wrestling. That's my biggest complaint. Not only that, I think some of them are kind of careless in there. They're careless with their own bodies and the body that they're in there with.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because some people, I think, and we've seen it. Me and GQ have seen it. We've seen with some guys that actually get spot trained for like maybe one or two like shows before the shows actually start, and they're getting time in the ring. Which
Are you calling them spot monkeys?
No.
Okay.
No, that's a term for somebody that doesn't know how to chain wrestle. It just does all the flippity-flu stuff.
The flippity floppity stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just making sure, but I mean, some of those guys that are just being trained on the spot that day are same way.
Being trained on the spot that day. Yeah, that's what I have a big
issue with.
Yeah, big issue with, and
none of us did that.
I can tell you right now, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I wouldn't want to be put in that situation. I wouldn't, as long as I'm involved with some organization at any point in time, I'd walk out before I let a kid in there like that.
I was just thinking, man, if I was pushing that scenario, I'd be like, you know what? I'm packing my bags.
I'm gone.
Listen,
because the first thing that kid's going to do is he's going to break his neck. He's going to kill himself.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is they don't know this business.
No.
That's the best I can put. Holy shit, Anthony Costoli's still awake.
No. Oh, wow.
It's 9:21 p.m. And he's normally in bed at 7:30. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we still got a lot of people here. And of course, the lines are still open. I also put it down to the ticket here, guys, that we also have a YouTube page and also a Twitch page. If you're not subscribed to that, then go ahead.
Is this the Twitch page? Thanks. We go like this and shake the. Oh, you're supposed to shake with it a little bit there. No, I'm only kidding, guys. I haven't had nothing to drink. I'm drinking water. Honestly, I'm drinking water. You know, so
He's making fun of people getting hit by lightning.
I
So.
want to see somebody put a, I want to see somebody put a I want to see somebody put a lighter at the top of that bottle and see what happens.
catch the plastic on fire. Duh.
Right, of course. Duh. So should we even go to your next question, GQ?
Yeah, well, I'll just ask it anyway and see what else you can add to it.
Ooh.
What would you consider to be your biggest pet peeve in the wrestling business? Canadians is not an answer.
My biggest pet peeve is the young kids. A lot of them don't know when to be quiet. I mean, you can learn so much by sitting next to some of these veterans and just picking their brain. And you're going to learn that direction, the right direction from these guys. But you're going to be able to put your own little swing onto it later on in your wrestling career.
The biggest adage is ears open, mouth shut.
Well, I mean, ask questions. Don't be a damn fool, because you don't ever learn if you don't ask.
But of course, doing it in accordance, doing it in an orderly fashion, of course.
Right.
Don't interrupt the instructor.
Yes. And remember, guys, there's an old method to every line of work. It's called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And the guys that are workers will understand that method. It plays a part in everyday life. That's the best thing I can say.
Yeah. Very, very true. So
there was a comment in here real quick.
Is that from my son-in-law?
No. There was that one. No, that's only because it was around in the 1700s. That's why the merchandise is worth a lot there, Aaron.
Wow.
That's only if you have
But there was this one that you missed.
From Tony, from Anthony.
I've told these promoters they want me back in the ring, and I told them to kiss my ass because they don't have enough money. That's why I'll stay here on this podcast. You can make me a permanent seat here, and I'll be fine with it. I'll stay up till midnight doing this stuff.
I'm done. I'll call it quits right now.
You're having way too much fun.
You found a co-host now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have some filet mignon and mashed potatoes.
Oh man.
With gravy?
Hell no.
I like
You gotta have good old American Amish butter.
roasted red skin or
There you
with
go.
some garlic.
There you
Yeah. You'll whip them up real good, because the
Hold on.
more whipped you are, the better it is, right?
Sorry, I was trying to work in Arizona.
Oh Lord.
Still 96 out at 7:30 p.m.
I don't remember that
So
at
it
all.
was a dust storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chad, for listening. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. Well, it's
You
nice
done
to be
with
out
all
there.
your questions?
No.
There's 4 more questions from us at least.
You guys
Yeah.
are slacking. I guess we're going until 10:30.
Oh no.
Oh no, we can get this done by 10.
Yeah, we could.
They're slacking, guys. Don't believe anything they say. They're working y'all.
So, what's the worst injury that you've ever suffered in the ring?
The worst one I ever suffered was actually in a regular match. I tore a meniscus in my knee. And about 2.5 minutes into the match, it was supposed to go almost 20. Against Gary Jackson.
Oh man.
No doubt.
How long did you go? You went 20?
We went 18 minutes and 12 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. It was less than 18:30, but I think it was 18:12 is what we went.
So you guys went a little early. You called it a little early because of the injury.
Actually, I pinned it. I pinned Gary that night. That was a part of the I want to say it was MRW, but I know I'm wrong. I'm going to say it was the GCW heavyweight title tournament.
Oh my gosh! So that was so that's kind of late in your career, then.
Yeah, it was.
Dang.
It was even later in Gary's. Sorry, that was just a little jab.
Wow.
Gary and Brian James are like father time in this business.
Well, I mean,
And you wouldn't tell they're zombies or vampires or something.
Hey, I'll tell them the truth. Them guys look great for their age.
yeah, but they still haven't told us what fountain they're drinking out of either.
I know. I've been trying all the water I can find and everything else. Whiskey, cheap alcohol. Gary says it's cheap alcohol. He said because when it comes out, it's all the same. I don't get it. I haven't bought into that bank yet. I still like this bourbon. So
There was another question.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should post it. I'm gonna do it really quick, so it's pay attention to the screen.
well,
We'll just do
everybody else
this.
can see them.
And there you go. That was it.
Can everybody else see these?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows exactly what that comment was about. But yes, I have one on videotape. And if you ever want to see it, actually, it's not on tape, it's on DVD. So if you ever want to see it, I'm sure I have a copy that I can loan you.
Oh my god!
It is not the master copy, though.
That's what he said.
Wow, my goodness!
The bad problem was it was with two girls. And that pink thing disappeared. Don't stop licking your lips because you're scaring me over there. I'm glad you're on the other side of Ruby. Ruby should be the one scooting over closer to me.
I'm just wondering.
What are you licking your lips for?
The
people seen it.
One of the participants was that Christy Miss anyway?
No, it was not Christy Miss.
Because she did some stuff down there in those California promotions that she did for a while. Barbed wire ones.
She didn't do them at GCW. I can tell you that.
No, we weren't asking about that. No.
That was still in her prime, though.
But she did some barbed wire ones down there. We just talked about barbed wire dildos now. You just see how the show went now?
It went really south really quick. And I'm sure Anthony's still awake listening, going,
oh, no. Well, he said
listen
this.
to this sick.
He said this.
Oh my god!
I was going to say Keith Smith is not frozen. He's just staring at that.
Wow.
Anthony, go to bed. You're going to be calling me first thing in the morning. Go to bed.
Wow, man.
Anyway, you got any more questions?
Yes, we
Well, we got a few
'Cause
more.
You're slacking.
I know. I'm sorry.
And we're probably keeping the whole house here at the Ruby residence awake.
To watch them. Oh no.
I ain't gonna tell you. So one of the young kids popped up with this thing about who you mentioned, that young lady, Christy, whatever.
Yeah.
missed.
Yeah. Said, look, and everybody in the dressing room was watching what that young lady was just referring to. And of course, I'm the old guy. I walk over and I'm like, what the hell are y'all watching? And I'm talking young. I'm talking 18, 19, maybe 20 years old at the most. And they got it playing on their little thing that they got. They're watching these DVDs on. And I'm like, no. You guys need to turn that shit off. You just distracted the whole locker room.
That is horrible.
Look at you guys. You guys are distracted from it.
Yeah, because I'm making notes for it. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
Well, make them. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I guess. I not me. Not me.
Definitely not me.
No, man. No.
Maybe the one over there that's speechless. Yes.
nope.
Nope. Now he said no. As soon as I leave up out of here, Dave, you got to go upstairs. I got to pull this monk stuff up. God, he's the only one that's got a full size computer. Well, Dave's got
This is Ruby's, and this ain't mine.
His full setup with his big TV right here in front of us.
Oh yeah,
Because the Rough Cut Diamond actually has everything locked down, so you can't look up dirty stuff.
Yeah, right.
no, well,
What are you gonna
I'm
do?
not.
Are
I'm
you
not
gonna
going to
share it on it?
elaborate.
You're gonna share it on the screen, right? No. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Hey, we're not sharing none of that stuff, folks.
I could, but I won't.
Oh my gosh.
I probably showed some weird stuff anyway, like that and everything. So I'm not going to.
Yeah, I get it. So
This has become false count everywhere, adults only, apparently. My God.
Wait a minute. If we're gonna go old school, adults effing only.
correct. Correct. And I have all the master copies of those as well. Oh, matter of fact, that's where the pink dildo came from. Ambassadorized.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
I'm sure there are some of you clowns out there laughing your ass off right now.
that is horrible.
Hey, can I have that sheet so I can finish reading off these questions y'all want me to answer?
That one there. Go ahead, Ruby.
Well,
That's the next one.
Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, so well, we've known that, with 2017, you were inducted into the Midwest Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame. But is there any other particular moment that stands out as your crowning achievement in your professional wrestling career?
Being able to wrestle my father.
God, that's awesome.
How many people can actually say they've done that? But I mean, that's one of the reasons I say there's not enough money that any promotion has right now to get me back in the ring with a clown like Damian Blade. I've done everything I wanted to do in this business. I've wrestled with my father. I've wrestled against my father. I've wrestled with my son, and I've wrestled against my son-in-law and with my son-in-law. So I've done everything that I need to do.
Yeah. And so did you happen to wrestle your son before you decided to hang him up?
No.
No.
Tell me why I should.
I thought, well, it's just, father and son, teacher versus student. I thought, that would be a good story, I think.
No.
He doesn't want to get chopped by his son. He knows what it feels like.
My son doesn't want to get chopped by me.
That too.
As a kid, he would always say, "Dad, don't spank me with your hand, spank me with a belt."
Oh.
So you go.
Preferring a belt over your hand?
Yeah.
God, that
So
wow.
So
there's no belts in the Monk film.
I wouldn't know. But anyway,
I don't know about that either. Moving on. So what is
somebody's obsessed?
What's one fun fact about you that no one else in the wrestling world knows about Keith Smith?
I guess that I'm probably a very big prankster in this wrestling business, and not a lot of guys know it.
I can see it. I mean, I can definitely see it.
I did a show at a dry ice arena in Wright City, and you could figure out where this is going. So you have guys like Dingo, who used to come out wearing the Aussie gimmick with the hat and the whole 9 yards, and you had Croc and all them. They were doing their little thing, and of course, I came back from the shower one night, and they were all. I mean, I had the last match, and they were pulling down the ring. Of course, I hung Dingo's Aussie hat, on the front of me. Said, did somebody lose a hat? So and of course, I always prank with the young kids in the aspect of this. And some of the young kids don't know how to take them today. Even some of the old guys don't. Dave don't. And I work with him.
No sense of humor.
He does, but it's pretty dry. I mean, this is the most laugh he's got, besides his wife smacking him around a couple of times, that he's had in the last year.
Oh, man.
Come on, Dave, have a little fun with it. Because when I get home, I'm sure I'm going to get smacked around too.
Oh, no.
No, because I'm going to wake her ass up when I go in the house. So I'm going to get smacked. God dog it. No, I'm only kidding. Come on, guys. It's all good.
I know it's the last one. I don't know if I want to ask this because I don't think he's going to be able to tell much of it. What are some memorable road stories or fan experience that you can share that are funny or have stuck with you?
One of the biggest ones, I was on a road trip to Arkansas with Magic Man, Pete Madden, Johnny Jett, myself. Magic Man about a third of the way to, I think we were going to Paris, Arkansas, somewhere in that area. And it's a late winter show, and we're driving, and this guy gets sick. I mean, he's about ready to pass out. I'm feeding him everything I got in my bag, and plus some. I probably loaded him up with more ginseng than a man ever needed. And you hear Pete going, what are we gonna do with him if he dies? I said, throw him out on the side of the road. We'll call the police and go about our own business. The bad problem was I gave him so much ginseng, he was probably gonna die with a heart on.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't expect that one, did you? Yeah. You ought to hear Pete tell a story because it's really pepped up even worse than that.
Yeah, Pete tells some really good stories. Yeah. He really does.
But that's the thing. It's like there's so many people, like you said, that don't have a sense of humor and can't just joke around. Because again, back with the boys, you're having fun. You're trying to enjoy life. You're one of the boys. But then if you do one little tiny joke, everybody gets all pissy and defensive.
You know, one thing, if it's truly a joke, and you're in the dressing room and the boys know it's a joke and it's a rib, the whole 9 yards, sometimes the rib gets carried a little far. In this aspect, it was the God's honest truth. This guy would look bad. We get to the show and I was like, he wasn't even sick, you know. And as soon as the show was over with, he was back in the car asleep. So, you know, it's just one of those things. And sometimes these guys don't know when to say when with the ribs that they pull in this business nowadays.
Yeah. I mean,
and of course, my daughter's watching.
Yeah, I mean, we all have to be lighthearted when we're into business like this. I mean, I definitely think, you know, you have to have a sense of humor. If you're a stick in the mud and a negative Nancy or a double N, I would like to tell somebody, but you know, you can't do that. You always got to pick your fun. Trust me, I've been on the other end of pranks in my rookie year, and
well, you could just imagine growing up and breaking into business with guys like Von Ryan and those guys, Bull Brannigan, Moose, Miller, Johnny Ramirez, my dad. And of course, I was the youngest shit of them all that was there at that time. You know, even the Giant Assassin, I got ribbed by everybody. And you take it with a grain of salt, you learn, and you know one of these days that rib's going to be passed down to another guy.
Yeah, Ruby, you had like Frankie D, Johnny D, and all them. I had Billy Bob and Techno Kid and everything. So you know, we all got weird ass ones. Of course, B stuff. We pretty much both got that one.
You know, the easiest way to break in a guy when you're training him is ask him if he knows what the three Nelsons are. If you get to that third one, you better go. Anyway.
Oh my goodness!
And I think all three of us know that one too.
Yes, well, yes, I know I do. But it's not like that though. No, I've seen it. Did I miss something on here?
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Well, you said it like you
had
firsthand experience with it.
No, I watched it.
Maybe when you were in that show that previous picture again.
Oh yeah, it was during those times. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at it for a second, no, you do have that long blonde flowing hair.
It must have been those golden locks. That's all I can attest it to, Dave.
That was more than peroxide to keep that color, that platinum. I'll tell you that.
and I will do one thing.
Is that why you're losing it all today? Could you imagine if you had that hair today?
No.
Kind of like Flair now. I mean, but, you know.
Talk about daily laughter from my wife. That's probably why.
Oh, and actually, because of her, I want to thank
you,
Diamond, for that photo. And there you go.
And she's a redhead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a
See,
redhead.
red and blonde. I guess that equals pink.
I'm done. Done on that one.
Shoot. So that's actually all that we had, man. And anything that we also anything you wanted to speak your mind on. Obviously, we addressed the big elephant in the room here tonight, and that was short and sweet to the point.
That was another question.
Uh-oh.
In your opinion, who is a greenhorn that is underrated in the area, and what talent, in your opinion, who is overrated? So an underrated talent and overrated talent.
Well, there's a couple young men, and Chris Cade's being one of them. Unfortunately, Chris Cade is a underrated gentleman, really good kid. I mean, very good in the locker room, but there's times when he pushes the envelope. And unfortunately, in this business, you still have to pay your dues. Me and Mr. Cruz have had this conversation. Is he a good talent? Hell yeah. Would he benefit from being in a locker room with more talented guys? Definitely.
Would he survive that locker room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. He would. If he had a good group of guys around him, they would either make him or break him. And I don't think he's going to break. I think they're going to make him. He's going to end up realizing that he's going to end up being good. Even my son is a very talented kid. I think he's underrated to a certain degree. I still think he needs to go out there and do more work. Go to some other promotions. That's my opinion.
But outside the area, maybe.
Yeah, outside the area.
Yeah.
And learn some new stuff. Is he on fire at MMWA? Yeah. But how long is that fire going to last without adding some new stuff to what you already know? Go in. I mean, hell, you got a damn good brother-in-law. You might as well take advantage of it and, get that experience as well. That's the way I look at it. Because this old man can't get in the ring and go like that anymore.
So who would you pick from the area that'd be extremely overrated?
PT Beckham. I've seen a lot of issues with PT. That he's a good athlete. Like I said, this business has evolved from where I started to where it is today. It has evolved greatly. I think sometimes he pushes the envelope a little too far, and he rubs people the wrong way.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm entitled to that. I have nothing
Absolutely
against the man, but don't live that character outside this business.
I get you. Right. Like I said, I mean,
that's one of the downfalls with a lot of guys. Hell, that's what fucking Sean Vincent's doing right now. Excuse my language. I mean, he's living it daily as himself. Sean Vincent, Chris Bradford, same person, same attitude.
I don't know about you. There was a question. Somebody wanted to know your opinion on a wrestler.
Yes.
And I'll put it up there.
it's on. Let me see if I can maximize that.
We're bringing it bigger for the old eyes.
Okay.
So for Playboy Double H, your opinion on Playboy Double H?
And keep in mind, he knows who he's asking. And,
oh yeah, and I've been in the ring with him. As a worker, he's fine. Leave the clown posse at home. You'll get more bookings. That's the best thing I can tell you. You know, I mean, what you do inside the ring and what they destroy on the outside of the ring isn't good for business.
Okay.
That's what I see.
All right. All right. Well, I think that's all we had. I don't think there's any more in the chat room. At least that's right.
Any
now.
more last minute questions before we end? It's way past his bedtime. He needs to go back home and have some prune juice and go to sleep.
Prune juice. Oh.
Well, it's going to put whiskey in it though too. I mean, so
No.
Oh,
I don't need that tonight. I mean, I've been here with you guys. You guys have been old flood duds, and I've kept y'all laughing though. That's the only reason you're probably still awake.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Ruby
but guys,
puts me to sleep.
all I can tell you is this Falls Count Everywhere podcast, Facebook, the whole 9 yards has been a blast for me. You know, and I'm sure you're going to say, when we go off the air, you're going to say, damn, why didn't I ask him this? Why didn't I do that? Hey, I don't know, but that's for another time.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, obviously it's for another. You know, who knows? We may come around again to where we'll get you on, and or you can even call
Which I'll put
in.
this out there. All of our listeners that have been watching the show that stuck with us, we had a good number earlier too. If you have ideas for people you want us to interview, or if you want to see somebody brought back on, even from our first, how many was it? 15 podcasts that we had that were just the phone calls for them.
Yeah, just phone calls.
If anybody want to see us have back on with video and everything.
Hey, I'm going to stand up for a second. I'm sure I'm going to be out of view. I mean, you people are only seeing those two guys, and you guys don't think I'm actually here. So I'm actually going to go behind Dave and rub his head so everybody knows I'm here. But hey, you know, we appreciate everything you guys do as workers that have, you know, been on here asking questions. And like I said, I'm my own man. I call my own shots. And, you know, there's no disrespect in anything I said to anyone. I just want to see everything evolve.
Just a spot under the learning tree.
Right. Well, exactly. I mean,
somebody that lost to a tree.
I won, actually.
Oh, he won. I'm sorry, but he faced the tree.
And I did it in the Adults Fucking Only show. How you like that?
Hold on, I gotta show this one real quick.
Sean Vincent showed up?
No, I'm just now getting here. Going to have to watch this one.
Dennis saying, I'm just not getting here. Going to have to watch this one. Yeah, you have to wait till the replay post, which shouldn't take long.
Oh, yeah. You know, one other thing, talking about that gentleman right there, my history goes back with him a long way. And a lot of fun. We did a lot of shows together. But Dennis is one of my best friends. And, you know, we hunt, we fish. We're outdoors people. You know, that's why I got a little bit more tan than y'all got.
Yeah,
that's for sure. I don't go outside.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, you're going to have to watch this. It's probably going to piss off a lot of people. But, hey.
May make you laugh, though.
Yeah, it's going to make you laugh, but and you'll probably
talk everything from Canadian bacon to dildos. Sometimes the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I just told it the way it's supposed to be told. You know, I didn't sugarcoat nothing. I just left it all out on the table.
Yeah, that's why, and that's why we, you know, this Falls Count Everywhere. It's, you know, it's. I know I'll be laughing. Oh. Wow. Okay.
Hey, are they telling us we still got 7 minutes to play on this?
Hold on. No. Let's end this on an exclamation. Go and put that up there.
Okay, take a look at this one. This was put in there though too.
Yeah. Well, the only true backstabber is the one that actually has to use his wife's Facebook page to do this.
Oh. Yeah.
So, my Facebook page is still the same. My phone number's on my Facebook page. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay.
And we're leaving on the exclamation on that one.
Yeah. All I gotta say, guys, is I mean,
hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. and what I gave was my opinion. It doesn't reflect either of you two guys, but I told it the way I see it. I'm a worker. I've always been a worker first. And I've never thought I was better than anybody else.
No, every worker should worry about themselves and how they can progress and how they can be a positive influence in this business. And if you feel that you're not contributing as much, it's either you find a way to fix it or get out of it. So that's how I feel about it. If I feel that if I'm not contributing in any way, or if I got nothing positive, nobody sees anything about it, then maybe I should be leaving the business. So, oh my goodness, we are really digging a deep trench here.
Obviously, Mr. Bradford has got his wife's email or Facebook page going here. I'm not getting into a pissing contest with you or anybody else. But when you start downplaying the fans at any organization or any company, that is just totally wrong, totally disrespectful, and totally asinine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but for promotion that's been at a building for a number of years, and then you want to make a comparison. So,
well,
I'm just saying.
I mean, when you compare somebody to mashed potatoes on this side, filet mignon, what the hell do you know? Yeah. You're only doing what you're told to do, and the people that are hearing this actually know what I'm talking about.
As long as I know.
And I'm sure I'll be getting another phone call tomorrow, just like the last one I got. I think it was last Friday. So,
yeah.
I wasn't the one who put the other stuff out there. Somebody else threw that out there. It was not me.
Yeah.
I just responded to it.
Yeah. Oh, and thanks. Oh, and by the way, thanks for showing some class in my show. I appreciate that. That's
Are you talking
tip
to me
top.
or him?
No, I'm being. If someone
Not
can't
me,
take
I
sarcasm when I'm trying to speak to a web audience, they can't take sarcasm. Then I don't know. But no. The class definitely for real was brought here in the studio here tonight. So
It's always whenever I'm here.
Wow.
yeah, well, you work for free, so
Cheap ass don't pay.
Hey, listen, there's no money on this side of the table either, guys. So, I'm doing this for free. I'm doing it because I want to see this, your podcast succeed. I want to, I've been invited to other podcasts, but, somebody else has dropped the ball on that as well. Yeah, Searcher.
Oh, no. You're gonna have to talk to him about that. Because
no, I don't need to talk to him. He's the one who reached out to me and said, "Hey, come on there." And this has been over a year ago.
It's been the same thing with.
And all I listen about is him throwing a jab here and a jab there. But it's all cool. We're still friends.
Because he said the same thing with Attila, or with DI. Yeah, because it's like
it was a real. We don't say that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like I was. He was like, I'm trying to get him on the show. Next thing I know, he's on Ruby's podcast. I'm like, well, don't blame me because I came after I made the contact.
I'm kissing ass there a little bit.
All you got to do is give me a date and I'll be there.
Right. That's like I said,
and that's what
the date.
We talked about it a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, almost, I guess. And I said, hey, tell me what date you want me there. And you said, let's do it before the MMWA show.
MMWA free for all that we were trying to do that 1 week.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Which, by the way, if the searchers listening and watching tonight, we're still wanting to come down to the studio to beat you and your daughter in trivia. So there you go. Still waiting.
If it has to do with aliens, y'all are gonna lose.
And hold on, and this is how you show
and
respect. This is how you show respect right here. You gave your opinion. Look what was said back.
There you go.
Playboy, there, like I said, there was no disrespect, but you have a lot of talent inside the ring. I don't think you need the other stuff that's taken away from what your talent is in the ring, outside the ring. That's basically all I was saying. And hopefully you took it that way.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, like I said, take it as is. When you got an opinion, and from a guy who's been in the business, the cover spans 5 decades?
7.
Too long.
He said 7. That was him.
We were talking about his match with Abe Lincoln, remember?
Yeah, that would have been 17.
No, now you're talking 4th century. So, oh my goodness! But I definitely want to thank Keith for coming out here tonight, making this definitely an extraordinary, one of a kind podcast, because we've never done this before. We never actually came to.
We're not going to do it again either.
You're not going to do it again.
This is the way to do them.
I am not visiting this place anymore.
You don't live that far away.
I live in Hollywood, California.
He lives in Hollywood, Indiana.
Hey. Behind the dumpster at Taco Bell. Oh, anyway.
Oh no, that's Los Angeles. Boom.
I live in near Beverly Hills, where Playboy lives.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You share each other's pool.
No, it's an ool. There is no pee in that pool.
There's no pee in the pool.
Hey guys. Anyway, it's been a blast, and I appreciate you guys both having me here. Dave, you inviting us into here, the studio. There's a lot of ruckus going on above us, but we're probably keeping everybody away.
Where's the broom that we can?
No, don't
bang at the neighbors.
Don't do that. It's got a drop ceiling.
It's a drop ceiling.
It's got a footprint on the ceiling too. Look at that.
Because
Look above your head.
He suplexed. He suplexed his daughter.
No, take a look at the footprint right above your head, right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sasquatch has been here, so.
And that's why we should be on, so we can beat somebody else in trivia now.
So let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one fun fact about wrestling at South Broadway and the MMWA. They used to train. There's a back room behind what you see where the ring's set up. And there used to be a training ring put up back there. The ceiling literally was about as tall as how it is right now with us sitting here. And guys thought they could fly off the top rope. Well, that's how you learn to wrestle, because you had to learn to wrestle without flying.
Yeah.
And that was the perfect place to do it.
And when they got out there in front of the crowd at the show with Bailey's ring, you go touching the ceiling anyway too.
Yes, with Bailey's ring, we definitely touched the ceiling. A lot of guys hit that disco ball.
To the point that they took it off for years, didn't they?
No, they actually they raised it 4.5 inches, and people still hit it. I mean, I've seen my son Junior actually pick somebody up and give them a suplex, and their feet hit that disco ball, and I'm thinking, no. But they used to. I mean, South Broadway is known for a lot of things. They used to have fuzzball there, and they had these cables ran on in the building, long ways, and that's how they played fuzzball in there. So wrestlers like to try to decapitate themselves coming off the top rope on that cable.
Oh my goodness!
I've seen it happen 3 or 4 times.
Oh my!
Yeah. So I mean, that place has got a lot of things going on, a lot of history. And MMWA has just been one of the fine staples that's been there for many years.
It's the longest in the St. Louis area, right?
I would have to say yes, because Frank Windling was there long before Tony Costa. It's been there a long time.
But I would say that even Tony Costa running it is probably the longest of anyone in the area.
Yeah, well, Tony kind of took it over back in the early, I want to say around 82, maybe 83, maybe even earlier than that. I don't remember what the circumstances were, but I know Frank Windling, who ran it down there, also did boxing as well in the old ring. So that was the old training ring that was moved to Stag AC whenever South Broadway got that property from Anheuser-Busch.
know, we got more comments.
Oh, I'm
Or
sure.
are we done?
I don't know.
Did
GQ?
everybody go to bed on us?
There was
Everybody must
another,
have fallen
but,
asleep.
you know, we can keep poking this bear all night, but we're just gonna let it go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going
You
to
do the
say,
closing.
I mean, with that, there's nothing insecure about this. There's nothing insecure about it at all. It's more of a common respect factor if I'm looking into this. So there's nothing regards about insecurity. So if that's addressed, then no. I mean, I'm confident in what I do in this business, and I'm sure GQ is, and I know that Keith Smith is. I mean, Keith Smith don't have to answer to nobody.
I'll shoot a little bit right now, just on what was said, and I'm saying it in a professional way because I have no issues either way with anybody whatsoever. When you compare that only you can make money or whatever in just a few different groups, not knowing how many others are actually still paying, and you're making great merchandise with and everything like that, it's knocking something that you haven't been in, and or even knocking in general. Because I could say stuff about anybody I worked with, from Murphy to Frank to Colonel and everything, but I won't. What's the point? You don't get better by ripping into people.
No. And you definitely don't get better or do yourself any justice when you start talking about the fans, because the fans inevitably are the ones who are paying the bills.
The fans are the ones that are buying your merch. The fans are the ones that are buying tickets to see it. And it's the fans that are tuning in to actually watch who actually have something positive to contribute.
Same fans that last weekend bought close to $600 in merchandise from one show, a couple hundred in another show, and then the week before that we had a good Lord, I think it was almost $1,000 of merchandise money put out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the South Broadway show with the guys that sell merchandise there, you hear guys talk about Ricky Cruz as kind of like the king of merchandise. He's got a little bit of everything, but he's got everything for anybody. I mean, ranging from the littlest guy to the biggest adult there.
Oh yeah.
And as long as you have that spectrum covered, which he does, he's going to make a few dollars extra besides what he's getting paid. And there was probably a good grand at that show, made by the boys selling their merchandise.
Yeah, it can be done if you know what market to hit. So
well, and sometimes it's a hit and miss. Sometimes you can go to a location and not sell a thing. Did you sell yourself properly? That's the big thing.
Rule number one, that's taught to the business is always bring your gear. Rule number two, sell gimmicks. That's
the first rule is even if you're not on a card, bring your gear. That's the first thing. And then
the same thing.
Yeah,
I flunked that rule a lot. Just saying. But
you don't even dress up for us to come by either. I mean,
hey, I've been working all day.
I heard you took a nap. Anyway.
No, I did not take a nap today. That's a lie. That was the daughter who took a nap. I've been working all day. But I mean, you just don't know what you're gonna make. You won't even try. And trust me, I got merch, but I just haven't had. Just kind of wondering if anybody's gonna buy my merch. But I think
who's the carrot? I mean, who's to know? If you don't put it on a table,
right?
You don't try to sell it. How do you know if it's gonna sell?
That's true.
If you sell one shirt, it's one shirt you didn't sell before the night you got there.
Right. So you just pack everything back up and try to get another week.
There you go.
Yeah, that's.
And you'll see people go out there to buy Ricky Cruz stuff, Damian Lade stuff. You have one that's the fans love, one that the fans hate, including you, but they're still all doing it.
There you go. I mean,
I'm
apparently
gonna
not
poke this
only
bear now.
I mean, I think not only the fans hate me, but even the wrestlers hate me. So, well, it is what it is. Call it like you see it. Be truthful about this business. It's not for everybody.
If you wanted to be liked, you wouldn't be on top to begin with.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, bottom line, you cannot be liked and be on top at the same time, whether
Right.
you're in charge or at the top of the chain.
I mean, the good part about it is that, like I said, I'm one of the boys, and I always have been one of the boys, and I've never let that interfere with anything in this business. Even though I've had a lot of jobs behind the scenes for many different companies, I've never let that interfere.
And there's always going to be jealousy no matter what.
Sure.
How many people left here to go into ROH, WWE, and their friends all of a sudden were jealous of them? I mean, there's always going to be jealousy no matter what. If you do your thing and everything, what's it matter on anything?
And let's face it, some of those guys that went to ROH, we know who we're talking about. We're talking about Matt Sydal. We're talking about Delirious. Those two guys, or even Trevor with WLW. Those guys all paid their dues. They paid their dues. They went out, they busted their ass, they had a good gimmick, and people wanted to pay to see them.
One of the things said right there is you either make friends or you make money.
Yes.
Hey, unfortunately, I've made a lot of friends and not a lot of enemies. And I've made money in the early days.
Yeah.
Are you going to make money today? Some guys can, and some guys do. Some guys do really well.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a market out there, especially with fans getting back off this pandemic. They wanna support what we do.
And don't forget, this weekend you can buy some pork rub stickers. Just saying.
Yeah.
Buy a lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wear my mask, like I said. I'm the hog with the big nuts.
The mask is okay. Is don't wear the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone may even ask if who see the show, like, hey, where can I get one of those OSW shirts?
I don't have very many left.
Yeah.
This is the only hat that I have. This is a hat that was actually made for me by a friend, great dear friend, old tag team partner, Chaz Wesson.
Is somebody to call it in?
No, not that person. My old tag team partner, Chaz Wesson, the other part of the Old School Warriors. This was one of the very last gifts we exchanged between each other besides shirts. I did shirts, he did hats, and turned out well.
Awesome.
And just remember, you got South Broadway this weekend and IEW's second show in Granite City, Illinois, and Broadway downtown St. Louis.
Yep, MMWA downtown South Broadway Athletic Club.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, now I'm going to poke the bear for the last parting word here.
That hat is old. Mr. Talley.
Hey, Mr. Talley. You're pushing some buttons. Anyway, it's been a blast being here with you guys, and this is the way every show should go. I guarantee you guys feel that way too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I was. I'm very ecstatic that how things went here tonight. I mean, to the entire conversation, how it went in so many directions.
And I will say this, just because they need the extra money, don't forget you got Cottage Hills Wrestling also on Sunday and Cottage Hills at their new venue.
That might be interesting. I might have to show up to that show.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot about them. Whatever you say, they're still workers.
Yep. That is true. That is true.
I mean, everybody, like we said, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I still want to see what it's about. There's a couple of kids over there I want to talk to. So, Hope, thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for having one of those shirts.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I actually don't have one in my collection.
I don't have none to fit you.
Yeah. Yep. So just remember, guys, more wrestling this weekend. And I'm looking forward to my participation at South Broadway this weekend.
I forgot I had control
of
the board.
You've been too busy laughing and carrying on. But don't forget, you're wrestling Brian James, so I think there might be some retribution coming in this match.
Say what? I got Brian James this weekend. Oh, God. I just heard him again last weekend. I threw him out of that Rumble.
He's one of those guys. Like I said, he's like Father Time.
Shut the hell up.
No, I mean, I got to face Brian James again. Okay. Well, thank God it's not for my title.
Are you going to win? Do you think you win?
He'll chase you around until no.
Do I think I'm going to win? The guy's got a prone, injured back. What do you think?
Hang on to that dream, pal.
He's an idiot.
Nice.
You're an idiot. Come down and check it out. If you want to see me kick Brian James's ass again, then yeah, come down and see that. And I'm looking forward to that battle royal also. And
I'm sure my phone's going to blow up on the way home.
Yeah, I'm sure. But any parting words from you, GQ?
Squeeze my head. It's soft.
And yeah. No. But I would like to thank our guest of honor this evening, the man of the hour, Mr. Keith Smith Sr., for those who kind of confused that earlier. But thank you very much for being here.
Hey, I appreciate it. I mean, this has been a blast. And like I said, it works so much better for me being with you guys in person versus being over a phone.
Yep.
Because my phone would have never stopped going off. I turned it off so that people couldn't contact me while I was doing this.
Well, wait till you turn it back on after this is done.
Oh, well.
And all of you out there listening, make sure it's Mother's Day. Make sure to let your all mothers know how appreciative they are. We always appreciate our mothers. So make sure you recognize them properly on Sunday. So
I'll be visiting the cemetery, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And I'm very gracious. Mine only lives about a few minutes away.
That's a great thing, And being as old as you are, take advantage of everything.
Yep.
We all have a number. We just don't know which one we are.
I know. Exactly. We don't call the shots. That's for sure.
There's a man upstairs that does all that.
You want to end this now?
Yeah, I do.
He's got a long drive and he's got to go to bed.
Oh yeah, I know. So do you. Well, go back. Well, we got to call an Uber.
The hotel in the airport.
Yeah, we got to call you an Uber because I'm not going to give you a ride.
I already got booked. Remember?
Yeah, I forget you. Anyway,
are you getting in that clown car? There's something to get out of.
Oh, that was his.
That was his.
Very funny. All right. Oh my Lord. All right, guys. So for Mr. GQ and of course for the old school warrior Keith Smith.
Thank you guys.
I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll give you some more information at the beginning of next week on who's going to be on our show for next Thursday. So thanks again, and have a good rest of your night.
You could close your own damn show, man.